Hello, welcome to another episode of Macademia. Last time I promised we would look more at VPNs, and that's exactly what we're going to do this time around. So, what I've done is that I've opened up my application folder here. So you can see I've got one item right here highlighted called WireGuard, and then I've got another one, which I go further up, called Proton VPN. Now, I do have both of these installed, and I run them for explicitly different things. So let me first of all explain the purpose of a VPN. A VPN is twofold, essentially, the purpose of a VPN. So the first part is that it secures your internet traffic. Okay, so usually if someone is monitoring your internet traffic, they can see which websites you visit, kind of like your browsing habits and things of that nature. If stuff is sent over unencrypted, then what that means is that people can also read the information which comes over the internet as well into your computer. Thankfully, that's not as much of a problem anymore because most websites now use some kind of encryption. What the VPN does, in order to help with that, is that it encrypts all of your information from your computer to its point of destination. So, what that means is that if I connect to a VPN, I connect here locally from where I am in Farmersville, Texas, but the VPN that I connect to has an out somewhere else, has an exit point or an exit node. What that then does is it makes, whenever I go to visit a website, it makes the website believe that I am in that alternate location. So let's say that I had a VPN set up where I could access websites via the UK. Well, that would mean that all of the websites in the world would think, from looking at where I'm connecting from, that I am in fact in the UK. So that's the first purpose, general purpose of a VPN. And I kind of touched on the second general purpose already, and that is that everything is fully encrypted from end to end. So that means that anyone trying to monitor my traffic here in Farmersville, Texas, is not going to be able to do that. The only way they'll be able to see what browsers or what websites I'm browsing to would be to go to the endpoint in the UK or wherever I was connecting to and monitor the traffic there. But the problem there is that it's very difficult to do that because there are so many people using these VPN endpoints that it's very difficult to track back to a specific user. And then some of these services don't keep records, or at least they keep records for only a fraction of the time, which means that even if someone came along later on, say with a warrant, not that I'm suggesting you use any these VPNs for anything illegal, but I'm just saying that if someone were to come along with a warrant, a lot of these companies could just turn around and say, we don't retain records, sorry, pound sand, kind of thing. So that's the first purpose of having a VPN, and that is reflected here with Proton VPN. Okay. Now, when I load this up, clearly I should have updated this, but you'll see that there is a free version of Proton VPN, but you're going to find that the speed and some of the features are somewhat limited. I actually pay for a full Proton account, which includes the VPN, their password saving software, their email services, and so on. So I pay for this, and as such, all the options are freely available to me. So as you can see, we've got a few different options up here. I'm not really that concerned about it. What I can do, however, I can scroll down and I can say, all right, I want to show as myself currently being in the United Kingdom, even though I'm in Texas. All right, maybe I want to try and watch something on the BBC website. Not that I advocate you doing that, but if I hit connect here, now it says I'm connected to the UK, and it shows my IP address has now been changed. Okay, I now have an IP address of somewhere in the UK, which means if I were to go to a website, let me just try this. If I now try to go to Google, watch what happens. See, now it's showing me as being in Google UK. Alright, Google United Kingdom down at the bottom. So interesting, alright? So that's the main purpose that people use VPNs, right? To disguise where they're coming from, keep everything encrypted, and even bypass current safeguards, let's say, that are in place. So let's say that you're visiting a foreign country and there's certain things you are not allowed to access back home, for example, or back in the US, then using a VPN will enable you to get access to those things. And some of those things might be just like watching Hulu or whatever else. Now, that's it for Proton VPN, or just for standard VPNs. But VPNs can also be used for something else. And that's where my WireGuard installation comes in. So, if I go to WireGuard and I open this up, it's difficult to see along the top here, actually, but oh well. What WireGuard does is it allows me to... I have a WireGuard server set up on my router here at home, or router if you're so inclined. So what that means is that no matter where I go in the world, I can fire up WireGuard and I can point it back to my home, and I can connect remotely to my home network. What that allows me then to do is I can then remote control the computers which are here. So let's say that I go somewhere and there is a work emergency. What I can do is that I can VPN back into my home network, connect to my work computer remotely, and do whatever I need to do, and then shut the connection down afterwards. Again, all of that is all encrypted and very difficult, if not impossible, for people to intercept and see what I'm doing. So that is yet another reason why WireGuard on VPNs in general are pretty handy. Then there is one more application that I want to show to you, and it's called Tailscale. Now, Tailscale, you can see right here, this is actually a pretty interesting little application. So I have Tailscale installed on multiple computers, on my iPad, my iPhone, and my NAS, which I have in the corner of my office. And what that allows them to do, whenever they're connected to Tailscale, is that wherever those devices are in the world, they can essentially all be part of the same network. Okay? So if I want to connect to my NAS remotely using my phone, I open Tailscale, I hit the connect button, right? And what that will do is that will then give me an IP address with which I can connect to my NAS box and pull whatever data I want from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for VPNs, I think. I would definitely recommend the following, all right? If you don't pay for a VPN service, you don't have to pay for them, there's some free ones out there. I would definitely recommend that whenever you're using free or open Wi-Fi anywhere, that you use a VPN to encrypt everything that you do. Now, do I say that because you're doing something illegal? No, absolutely not. Please don't use VPNs to do anything illegal. Why I am saying that is because a lot of personal information crosses over the internet whenever you're using social media, banking apps, or whatever else. And it's not impossible for people to intercept those things. If you're using VPN, however, people have to find the actual endpoint of where you're coming out in order for them to intercept that traffic, and makes it so much more difficult to do. So definitely recommend, when you're connecting to public Wi-Fi, at a coffee shop or at a hotel or wherever you might be, please use a VPN to keep yourself safe. Also, if you have things you want to access back at home, then set up a VPN server. It's not difficult to do. A lot of devices now will support that. So please, give it a try. All right, that's all I have for this time. I will see you next time.